Your date of birth holds all the secrets to your soul. You give us your date of birth, we'll tell you the secrets to love, the secrets to lust, and who the best person for you just might be.
I have the answers.
Check out Secrets of Birthdays at secretsofbirthdays.com.
Soul Garden.
Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, your soul biographer, here to take the planets above and put them together into the story of you down here on Earth below. And boy, things have been crazy indeed. Incidentally, if you're trying to jumpstart your heart and have some passion in your life, and I know Scorpios are, and I know Sagittarius are, and I know Cancers are, I know a lot of people are. In 90 minutes, I'm going to give you some tools where you can step back into your heart. This is a day-by-day thing. These are on Saturdays, by the way, and just $33. So it's me working with you on webcam. It's really good. If you want more intense one-on-one work, well then buy a reading right now. If you buy a 1-hour reading with me, you will get a free Secrets of Birthday video emailed to you before the reading. And I have lots of slots open in April, so come on down. I book almost within 24 hours at soulmart.me. Well, we have a lot of changes going on, folks. I mean, it has been a bumpy ride. The universe has introduced a lot of Neptune, self-mercy, compassionate, kind of Christian energy. Very Easter Pisces, right? We have a Pope change. We found the God particle in physics. The universe is not messing around. So this is a time of moving forward. Mercury is finally direct. We're going to wrap up the Sun in Pisces, and then we're going to hop into Aries pretty aggressively because the Sun is going to jump over Uranus. So without further ado, let's take the Ascension elevator and take a bird's eye view of you.
This is your captain speaking. Please be advised that small knives are not allowed on the Ascension elevator, as your intellect is sharp enough. Your Ascension today has been powered by the God particle. And some negative news, we lost your luggage.
Hello, Geminis and Gemini risings. And if you bought a Lightcast report card, we call you an intellectual logician. That's because we think you make magic out of logic, and that's what Geminis do. All of you do, even the risings. We are shifting this week. We're moving on to the Sun in Pisces and moving into the Sun in Aries. What this means is you'll be wrapping up your career transit for the first 3 or 4 days of the week, holding space for the career and legacy that you want to point to. And then as we move on Wednesday, the Sun will move into Aries, shifting your focus to a new state of awareness. You're now going to look at your belonging consciousness, where you feel like you belong. This is basically the premise of your social life, your diplomacy, your title, your reputation, the way people know you. And this is a part that's really quantum leaping this year as a result of all the career changes you have going on, all the boundary changes you have going on, all the lifestyle changes you have going on. It goes without, kind of any illogic that your social life and where you feel you belong is going to change. And no matter how old you are, you're going to be upgrading from where you were born. So if you were born like blue collar, you're going to go to white collar. Whatever up is for you, up meaning better, innovative meaning a better connection to society and a better connection to the world. Now, that said, there are planets already trailblazing ahead. We'll start on Wednesday at step 0 and be to break down step 4 by Sunday. So there's breakdown on Sunday. And as you can see, after Sunday, the Sun will hit the big granddaddy of innovation, Uranus. And that's really where you're going to see a breakdown in maybe social connections or a particular friendship in general. Mars is already adding tension there at the tip of this consciousness, kind of creating trouble for you when it comes to connection to social life. Now, on the other hand, Mercury is going direct. Your home planet goes direct as of Monday. It is way back in the career part of you, and so your mind will still be back on career, getting your career and legacy and future on course. So you'll be thinking about future for another 2.5 weeks and still healing some of your thoughts, some of your mind, as Mercury conjuncts Chiron there later on in the transit. Saturn is still retrograde, which means you have to hold your own emotional boundaries in the moment. You're not being called to be in perfect integrity anymore. Now it has retrograde to step 10. You just want to love yourself and hold space for the lifestyle you want. There's really nothing else to do except do not go back on what you have learned. That's part of what a retrograde lesson is. We don't want to go back. to what we've already learned. All right, so let's get an even higher view of the new you, way up in outer space, of course, which is my favorite place to be. And we get our groovy timeline at the bottom, and we're going to start with, of course, Sunday. Sunday is sunny and cool for the Geminis and Gemini risings. That's because the moon is in Gemini, and so emotions and ego are working side by side. Basically, the moon will cross over Jupiter, so there should be a real expansion of personal, emotional, ego, courage expansion that happens on Sunday that makes you feel really Gemini good, and you might be feeling pretty bright and optimistic about career legacy. Basically, on Sunday, you want to take steps forward to where you want to be with career legacy. On Monday, it's sunny and solid. Earth rules the day, so you're holding space for the career you want and manifesting. The moon is in Gemini, making you very charismatic. It's easy for you to get along. It's easy for you to be chatty. It's easy for you to be public. Excuse me. It's easy for you to be out there. Now, that said, there's a lot of ballet going on with some of the positions of the planets, or what we call aspects. Let's take a look. For one, we've got this yod. I brought this up last week, but this week I've got a sharper graphic for it. Basically, this yod points to Jupiter in your sign. So no matter what happens this week, one of the main focuses is to stay focused on who you are not. In other words, do not retrograde into an old character. Do not retrograde into old fear. Act on who you intend to be, who you are. Put who you are into action, not words. Act on who you want to be. That's what the Jupiter yod says. The Jupiter yod says that when you do act on who you want to be, the boundaries with others take care of themselves, and the boundaries in the moment take care of themselves when you act on who you want to be. All right. Now, there's also a second yod, this one pointing back to Saturn, which gives the second clue of the week, saying, all right, you definitely want to hold that character of who you want to be. And secondly, you certainly do not want to slip into the old lifestyle whatsoever. Just focus on the moment and focus on who you are. So who you are in the moment. You see the sun on the other side of the Saturn yod there. What that is saying is, as the sun crosses Uranus, as the sun breaks down as far as social life and whatnot, what will hold you steady are these 2 points I just brought up. Now, looking at the moon, you can see the arc here at the bottom right corner. The moon begins in your sign as it crosses Jupiter, like right there. And from that point on, you are very strong and charismatic through most of the week. The next sign will then be your soul capital, be manifesting, and then it moves into your thoughts and attitudes. So this is a very positive transit, I do believe, for the Geminis as far as emotions are concerned this week. All right. Here we go. I'm still learning this. Isn't that cute? All right, so Tuesday, sunny with a chance of a little insecurity on Tuesday. The moon actually shifts into Cancer, and part of the reason why there's insecurities, it might be career insecurity. You're being tested on Tuesday to have emotional faith for your legacy. So you really want to just hold faith and just hold in integrity. I love me, I love you, the world, and keep that emotional integrity. What happens is the moon moves out of your charisma and into your self-esteem issues, Cancer, and so if you have any self-esteem issues, that might be part of the quake as well. But really the thing to do is to just honor yourself, honor your future, and not let your emotions go any wacky way. On Wednesday, cloudy, and there is some uncertainty, I think. That's just because mostly of the sun in transition. We're at 0 degrees. I always say 0 means 0. It's the no man's land between two states of awareness. In this case, you're in the transition between focusing on your future and focusing on your audience, your social reputation, the Aries issue. Plus, there's a lot of energy right around Uranus. I'll show you that back with the chart here in a second, which means we're already starting to feel that things may break down with a friend or a place in the world, or an old version of you might be breaking down. So that also creates some uncertainty. But I think the universe, too, is dosing out a heavy dose of fear and a soul pyramid. Check this out. We've got a temporary grand trine in water, so as we cloud up between these two states of awareness, we get very sharp emotionally. In your case, the new lifestyle on the one hand, your feeling of security or your sense of manifestation with emotions at the bottom, and then your career. So it's career, lifestyle, and value that make you feel pretty strong on this day. And even though things are clouded as far as where you are in the world, you should feel strong on these areas. But there are some fears. These red lines indicate where there's tug-of-wars going on the cloudy day as well. On the one hand, the classic tug-of-war between you changing your boundaries and keeping your self-esteem. What do you open? What do you not open? Have you gone too far? Da-da-da. And how does that affect what people think of me and whatnot? And literally, what people think of me. The sun is the epicenter of these fears. In other words, there's a little bit too much concern, I think, Gemini, of what the world might think of you instead of what you think of you. That might be the first part of the breakdown that we see here. And then, of course, we've got this other yod on top of all of that. All right, excuse me for a second. All right, I'm learning this. Yay. So that brings us up to Thursday. Thursday is sunny and the sun comes back out to play. Sunny and productive for the Geminis. The moon in Cancer really lights up your emotions around what you're worth and what you deserve. You snap out of that red, that fear triangle that snaps apart. And the sun now is 1 degree, so we're now feeling back empowered. You're feeling kind of loved. It's the day, basically you want to feel on Thursday, you're feeling out, do I like my place in the world? Do I like it or not? And if you're in a really bad place in the world, well, it could be a lousy day on Thursday because you're being told the truth in a very literal way. But hopefully it won't be hard. Then comes oops, I went too far. Friday. On Friday, it's sunny and sharp. That's because the moon will actually shift into Leo, which means emotions move into the house of intellect for Geminis, and so you become incredibly sharp with your ability to articulate, communicate, etc. You're also out of the self-esteem issue, and the moon does rule the day. So as long as you are, your mind is not clouded up, I think you're going to feel pretty good on Friday actually, and ready to do some business. Don't forget, Mercury is direct as of Monday, so your whole character, all of your energy, it's all working good for you. So Friday is definitely a good day. Then we move to Saturday. Saturday is sunny and chatty. I think you're going to be super chatty on Saturday because the moon is well into Leo and Jupiter rules the day. What that means is you're expansive. Now Jupiter's in your sign, so you're the most expansive out of all signs. Saturday's a real day, maybe taking some risks, exploring. Also a good day as far as your social life to try a new neighborhood, try a new group of friends, try something different. Just try something different in your world. See or shop for where your neighborhood or world might want to be. So a lot of people move in this transit, incidentally. Just put it out there. Then finally on Sunday, it showers with a chance of anxiety. Now this is the Uranus ruled day. It's really the hardest day of the week, which is the end of the week on Sunday. It's because there'll be breakdown. This is where something might not work out to where you thought or hoped it would work out in the world with friends or a place or a neighborhood or something. It might be a hard reality. It might be a reality you were expecting for a long time, and finally the bricks kind of crashed. But there might be some potential for some emotional release as well due to the nature really of the moon. Let's take a look at that. The moon moves into Virgo by the end of the day, out of your head and into your pure emotion. So emotions catch up with you on Sunday. It's not just a breakdown of place in society. It's that this is the first time in the month you've taken time to feel how you feel about things, especially with all of the career ambition you were doing with the sun in Pisces. So that moon directly opposes where you were feeling sensitive about career. So you may suddenly feel really torn between your career ambition and whether or not you are secure or not. All right. Really, what you want to do on Sunday is take good care of emotionally yourself and let whatever is crashing in society crash. Uranus is going to clear away the debris, and as you see, when we come back next week, we're going to talk about building that place in the world that you really deserve and you are ready for. So don't let it get down. Don't let yourself get down. Also, keep in mind the Saturn, the Saturn yod, which says, don't slip into the old life. Don't slip into the old depression. If the old life was you being depressed all the time, don't slip into that. And the Jupiter yod says, hey, focus on that new character, that new you, that new ego, that new Spitfire that you've been working on for nearly a year since last summer. Focus on that and not slipping back in the past. That is the key, Gemini, to succeeding this week. All right, let's fly home. Woohoo. Well, that wraps up another week of Soul Horoscopes. One final cute little tip, and that has to do with Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini has moved to Chapter 2, which means there's no more thinking to do. It is time to act on what you've been thinking about literally for 6, almost 7 months. So move and act on those thoughts. And Jupiter means that fortune will indeed come. Now, remember, I'm available on the air, and this week, all week long, I will be there Monday through Friday for guided hangouts at 11 a.m. Mercury is direct, and our staff is retrograde. They are recreating themselves now that Mercury is direct, and we're going to come back to you with a whole new front. We're super excited, but come on down. I've got a lot of cool topics. We're going to talk about the new Pope, the God particle, and I've got some excitement, something to introduce you, Dr. Mom. She's this cool lady that helped me heal as well. So come on down. Pacific time, 11 a.m., Monday through Friday this week, and they're all recorded. And if you're watched over by the Guardian Agency, I will send you emails with the video all week long. And if you'd like to try GA, try it. It's only 1 penny for the first week. All right, my fellow soul gardeners, I love you so much. Until next week, live, love, be.